So welcome back to my channel. I'm doing another spin on the Candence sprays for Wise Old Owl. So what I thought I'd do with this one is I'm actually going to use some black gesso and see how the sprays work on a black surface. I'm actually not expecting a lot, but I also have a solution for that. So here I've actually got some paper mache mould results. They didn't turn out 100%, but they still will work in this type of background. So I'm actually gluing them on, or have glued them on, using the gesso. Now gesso has a glue-like consistency, so it will set them once it all dries underneath. So I'm going, as you see, I'm painting the whole canvas. It was a recycled canvas, so I'm actually doing another project over the top of another. So it is now going to be all black, as you can see. Now this is a very dark surface to use, so I don't know if you'd noticed, but I've actually opened a new jar of the gesso. The other one was actually gone thick, which I'm about to use for this second part. This, as it's thick, I've added a little bit of water to it, but it was a lot thicker than the newer product. So I've now added a stencil of some lettering, and I've also now put the timer on. I think I've already used about 10 minutes, but I wasn't sure, so I benefit of the doubt, and I've actually deprived myself if I have. So as you can see, I've got the timer going. The aim was to have a 30-minute project, as it was pointed out that a lot of the projects that I had been previously doing may not fit the timetable of some crafters. Now all art can take as short or as long as it takes, but I thought, yeah, well, a challenge of 30 minutes is probably a good challenge for me, because I'm normally will sit for about 2 to 4 hours depending on where my mood goes. So if I can start to challenge myself for my design team projects, well, that's great. You win, I win. It means I've got less film to edit as well, and it's a little bit quicker for you to enjoy. So I'm adding the sprays and spraying with water, diluting them. And as you can see, yeah, you can see the colour a little bit at times, mostly when you first have actually added it. It's a lot easier from my angle, closer to the actual project. And, well, you can see it on the outside on the glass, but it's not obvious. So I've decided now to actually add some embossing powder, just some antique white. I just thought, well, I'll dust that on, that'll stick because the ink is still wet and it will stay. So I'm just going to activate that embossing powder, and that'll add another dimension to the actual final product anyway. So 9 minutes and counting down. As you can see, I've actually sped up the project just so the film's a little bit shorter. So I'm actually now going to add some white gesso over the top. Actually, no, I think this was white paint. So I'm adding it, and as you can see, it's pulling the ink sprays to the top. As it reactivates, it's actually bringing those colours through, and that'll just keep pulling it through as the product dries. So I've actually just grabbed another dry brush and I'm just spreading it without getting too much, as I like the mixed effect, and it works well with the little dragonfly that I chose to use as the focal point here. So using some thick gel medium, I'm actually going to glue that metal dragonfly to my canvas. I'm just grabbing a dry brush to clean some of the excess up. So now I decided to find some words, and I'm using words that are black background with white text. Just feel that will add to the black that I chose to use the project. So I've got creativity, happy ending, and spring always returns, and home sweet home. Now they're probably not relevant in some ways to the actual project, but they're how I'm feeling as I'm creating the project. So I decided it needed some flowers of some sort. I added this pink rose, and not happy with it. I really like the look of this brown flower. Not sure exactly what it is. It could even be another rose, but it could be a single. So I found some leaves, added that, and that green really helped punch the colouring in the background. So I've now only got 3.5 minutes. I've actually lowered the speed of the film now to 2 times the speed. So I'm just going to find a couple of flowers that I like, and I will add 3 flowers in all. And I'm also going to grab some leaf and add some leaf as well to some of those smaller flowers. So this is what I'm going to glue. So I'm going to add some more gel medium and I'm gluing them down. I'm not overthinking the page now. I've found what I liked on there, and I'm just locking them on. So grabbing the gel medium. Now this will take a little bit longer to dry than the end of this project, of course, but it will be finished. It's just a case of waiting for all the gel, all the gesso to dry in the background, and that will make it all set quite well. So just adding these rose leaves now to the back of these flowers, just to add another punch of green to it, and just cut the wire off that one, as I don't need the wiring on it. And then I will finish gluing those up, make sure they're where I want them. Then I'll actually glue with the gel medium the wording that I've added. So there is spring always returns, which actually probably is quite fitting with the flowers that I've added. Happy home sweet home, always happy at home, and happy ending. Well, the happy ending is it actually completed, and then I've added creativity. Now time's up. Now I will finish this project. It doesn't take much longer of this, and it may be that if I actually counted the time, it possibly was the full, would actually meet the 30-minute deadline, but I will give this a couple more minutes to finish it to a finished stage. So once they're all down, now they're not set, and normally to do the next stage I would actually allow them to dry. So I'm actually grabbing another clean dry brush, and I'm dry brushing on some gesso to add some white to the flowers and the leaf and the dragonfly as well, just to merge them back a little bit to the background so that they will all blend in a little bit better. So if I had some more time I possibly would go further, but that is what I've ended up with. So I've just finished dusting those brushes. So now that once this is dry, I'm going to grab the graphite pencil I have, and I will do some shading just to highlight and extend, just add a little bit of shadow to some of the paging, including adding just a bit of dusting on the flowers. I just find it'll help blend a little bit. I probably would spend a lot more time on that in a non-time project, but I'm actually quite happy with the result I have here. So okay, so that's almost finished. Just looking at the time now, again I've got to add something else, so out comes the Posca pen. I'm just going to add my 3 dots. If you'll see in the photo, it actually looks different. I actually added a little bit of gel medium, a few drops of glossy accents to the page over those white dots, just for a little bit more depth. So trying to get the Posca to allow me to spread some dots over the thing, just to again merge everything together. And I'm thinking right now that that is done. So I hope you liked the final project, and there will be a second one added at the same time as this, so please have a look at that one as well. Thank you for visiting my channel. Bye. Toodaloo.